deliver his annual message. And now, therefore, this session is hereby called to order, and it is hereby so ordered.
His Excellency Chairman Banko, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia and President of the Liberian Senate, Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence, President Pro Tem of the Liberian Senate, Honorable Thomas P. Fala, Doyen and Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in fulfillment of Article 58 of the Liberian Constitution, we have gathered here for the President of the Republic of Liberia to deliver his annual message. Distinguished colleagues, the Chair will now entertain a motion to convene in the joint legislative section of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. Honorable James N. Colette, Representative Electoral District Number 2, Bon County.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Pro Tem, Honorable Deputy, distinguished colleagues, I, James McClyde Colette of Electoral District Number 2, Bon County, move, if I can obtain a second, that this legislative section be conveyed to a joint legislative section for the sole purpose of the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Yiman Boakai Sr., to deliver the State of the Nation address. If I can obtain a second.
Honorable Taba Vampla of Cape Mark County, Senator.
I, Taba Mabane Vapila, Senator Grand Cape Mark County, do hereby second the motion.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, without restating the motion, are you all ready to vote? All those in favor make it known by saying yea. Those against, nay. All those abstain, raise your right hand. With the yea having the vote, the motion is hereby carried, and it is hereby so ordered. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with the motion to convene in the joint section that have been put and carried, we now ask the Deputy Chief Clerk of the Honorable House of Representatives to give us an information as to the quorum that will allow us to do the Liberian people business.
Honorable Richard Namekun, Speaker, House of Representatives and Presiding Officer of this joint sitting, His Excellency Jeremiah Banku, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia and President of the Liberian Senate, Senator Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate, Honorable Thomas P. Fala, Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, distinguished members of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia, I am honored at this time to announce to you that records from the desk of the Secretary of Senate and mine indicate that there is a quorum for the transaction of business for today, which is for the purpose of receiving the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Nyema Boakai Sr., to deliver the State of the Nation address to the Liberian people. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chief Clerk. Honorable colleagues, with a report from the Deputy Chief Clerk that this august body has the requisite quorum to do transaction for today, we have convened in this joint section for the President of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Nyema Boakai Sr., to deliver his State of the Nation address. Therefore, I will ask the member of the Joint Committee on Executive, along with the Sergeant at Arms, to proceed to the chairman first. Please meet the chair. The Joint Committee on Executive. Please meet the chair. Maybe let me present. Approach the chair. Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker and members of the 55th Legislature, the arrival of the President of the Republic of Liberia, you all rise.
Representative, Madam Pro Tem, members of the Senate, Associate Justices, members of the Judiciary, Madam Katumuwa Boakai, First Lady of the Republic of Liberia, heads of and officials of political parties, prelates, members of religious organizations, our international and local partners, traditional leaders, chiefs and elders, my fellow Liberians, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We thank God Almighty, the preserver of our nation, and are grateful for his blessing upon us over the past 12 months and nearly 2 centuries of nationhood. As our work continues to confront vexing challenges, some existential, we must strive for a better and more peaceful, sustainable, and inclusive global community. Please permit me to take this moment to express my profound thanks and heartfelt gratitude to you, the people of Liberia, for your unwavering commitment to the peace and stability of our beloved country. Your dedication to keeping the peace reflects our conviction that progress must be grounded in unity and national solidarity. Mr. Speaker, and the honorable members of the legislature, we're here today in keeping with Article 58 of the Liberian Constitution, which mandates the President to deliver an annual message outlining the legislative agenda, report on the state of the economy and the general affairs of the Republic. A year ago, we addressed the citizens of this Republic through you, following an epoch-defining transition that captivated the democratic world. At that time, we stood within the revered walls of the Capitol building, an enduring symbol of our democracy bestowed upon us by our forebears. Now, a year after the historic transition, we face a moment of truth that our democracy can be threatened by those who oppose the steady progress. However, the fact that we are reporting on our stewardship here today on the grounds of the People's House recently damaged by fire highlights the resilience of the Liberian people. I assure you that the security of the state and the sanctity of our republic, though may be assailed, may be threatened, however, it can never be broken. It will be preserved. No one's personal ambition can ever outweigh the importance of our peace and security. This rescue train is moving, and all those harboring mental reservations to hop on the boat and let us proceed with the business of the Liberian people together. Compatriots, when we assume leadership, we did so with a clear agenda, fully aware that the journey ahead will not be easy. We started with a 100-day plan to implement immediate measures aimed at addressing the people's needs and aspirations, providing relief from years of hardship and uncertainty. Even with limited resources, we made real progress in many areas after the first quarter. We improved public sector accountability and work on the road infrastructure while addressing issues in agriculture, health, education, technology, drug abuse, alongside key legislation. We recognize the immense challenges that lie before us, and though many problems persist, our country stands in a better place today than when we first began. I have dedicated countless hours to the welfare of the Liberian people, and with your unwavering support, we remain optimistic about the future of our promised nation. It is our faith in that promise that drives our vision for progress. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam Pro Tem, and esteemed members of the 55th Legislature, as we come to fulfill our constitutional duty, I commend each of you for your hard work, particularly in passing 11 legislations, one joint resolution. The passage of the Act authorizing government to spend $41.3 million in February 2024, pending the approval of the budget, demonstrates your commitment to addressing urgent needs and funding development across all sectors. However, we must act swiftly on the outstanding proposals before us: the Presidential Transition Bill, the National Tourism Bill, and the Local Government Bill, among others. We also urge prompt attention to Bank Financial Institutions and Bank Financial Holding Companies Act of 2024 and the new zoning law that will impact the national budget, 6 financing agreements to support economic growth, and 2 bills aimed at improving education and tax system. To empower young people and equip them with the skills necessary to meet national needs, we propose the Liberia Youth Services Program, LISEP, and the Technical and Vocational Education Training TVET Commission Act of 2024. Looking ahead, I will be submitting new legislative proposals, including the Amended Payment System Act, the Liberia Insurance Regulatory Commission Act, and the Revised Code of Conduct for Public Officials. Additionally, we will propose refunds in the state-owned enterprises through the establishment of State-Owned Enterprise Authority of Liberia, SEAL. These proposals are designed to improve governance, foster growth, promote transparency, and empower our citizens, paving the way for a better future for all. Delays could jeopardize the success of the arrest agenda for inclusive development, AAID. In the year under review, we also issued 14 executive orders addressing the urgent needs of the government, including those establishing the Office of the War and Economic Crime Court and National Railway Authority. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam President Pro Tem, and members of the 5th Legislature, Article 3 of our Constitution describes our government as a republic with 3 separate and coordinated branches. We must strengthen cooperation and dialogue across all branches of government with transparency and mutual respect. We must work together as partners in governance, united by our common goal of improving the lives of the Liberian people. We must therefore remain focused on the shared goal of progress and prosperity for the Republic. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam President Pro Tem, esteemed members of the legislature, allow me to give you some perspective to further understand where we are today. We inherited an economy in steep decline, with Liberians facing unprecedented hardship, including rising unemployment, inflation, and growing inequality. Before our administration, growth slowed to just 4.6%, while inflation surged to a double digit of 10.1%, driven largely by rising food and fuel prices. The current account debt at the time had worsened to 26.4% of the GDP. International reserves were dangerously low, just about 2.1 months of import cover, and debt burden had ballooned to $2.5 billion, with 54.6% of the GDP. Civil servants were facing extreme hardship due to pay harmonization and delayed salary payments, leaving them vulnerable to payday lenders and informal financial schemes like Susu clubs. We simply did not just recognize these challenges and their impact on our citizens. We took decisive action to increase salaries of health workers, the police, and the teachers. We have taken steps necessary to restore economic stability and have made good progress. In 2024, our economy demonstrated resilience and steady growth, with a revised real GDP growth of 5.1%. Key sectors driving the growth include mining, agriculture, fisheries, and services. Strategic investment in infrastructure and energy deployment, supported by international partners such as the World Bank, African Development Bank, the European Union, USAID, further bolstered this expansion. We have managed inflation prudently, reducing it to 7.7% by the end of 2024, down from 10.1% in 2023, thanks to the sound fiscal and monetary policies. We expect inflation to decrease further to 6% in 2025. The country's international reserve have improved to $458.9 million, and the Liberian dollar has appreciated by 4.7% against the US dollar. The General Bank has reduced the monetary policy rate from 20% to 17%, boosting confidence in the financial system. As a result, private sector credit has increased by 9.1%. Efforts to strengthen the financial governance are underway, focusing on reducing operational costs and addressing audit recommendations. Our participation in the IMF Extended Credit Facility as ECF program will help rebuild reserves, strengthen fiscal policy, and enhance domestic revenue through improved tax collection and streamlined exemptions. We have also made progress in modernizing financial system, improving access to finance from micro, small, and medium enterprises, and increasing financial inclusion, which now covers 52% of the audit population. Implementing the National Electronic Payment System and transition to cashless economy further demonstrate our commitment to a stable, inclusive, and resilient economy. The insurance sector is also being strengthened with reforms underway to establish an independent insurance commission. The establishment of the special economic zone will further diversify the economy, promote job creation, and foster inclusive development. Honorable legislators, over the past year, my administration has focused on transforming Liberia's investment climate. We are implementing policy changes to attract investment, including simplifying regulations, reducing red tape, and strengthening legal framework, while ensuring social protection and local empowerment. We have engaged both domestic and international investors, showcasing Liberia as a land of untapped opportunities. While some key agreements are still pending, I am pleased to report that we are actively negotiating with major multinational companies in energy, mining, agriculture, infrastructure, and technology. Once finalized, these negotiations are expected to bring over $3 billion in investment to our economy. Looking ahead, we anticipate a promising medium-term outlook with expected growth rate of 5.8% in 2025. We successfully passed the 2025 national budget in the amount of $880.7 million before the start of the fiscal year. The first time this has happened in the post-conflict period. Passage of the budget before the start of the fiscal year will also make the execution of the national budget more predictable and efficient. For many years, the government neglected to remit county development and social development funds to the counties, depriving citizens of essential resources for local government and development. However, we have begun reversing this trend by ensuring that these funds allocations for 2024 were fully disbursed to the counties. Also, for the first time in years, the government remitted to the road fund all road fund related revenue deposited in consolidated fund for enabling the implementation of several road rehabilitation and maintenance work during the year. The government arrests agenda for inclusive development AAID together with the county development agendas will help propel these efforts forward. Fellow citizens, while we have yet to reach optimal levels, our ongoing efforts will improve the livelihood of all Liberians. Despite global trends affecting community supply and prices, we have seen consistent declines expected to create a more stable revenue stream for the future. The Rabas International Airport, a vital gateway to Liberia and a potential driver of economic development, has faced operational challenges. However, under this administration, we have charted a new course, making significant strides to unlock its promise as a regional hub. To enhance safety and operations at the airport, we have invested additional fire trucks, backup generators, and navigational aids. Ongoing engagements with developers are focused on expanding the airport and improving its infrastructure and management. These initiatives still instill confidence among global airline operators and travelers, reflecting our commitment to positioning Liberia as an attractive destination for global business travel. Recently, we welcomed Ethiopian Airlines, which connects Liberia to over 150 global destinations and reduce air travel costs at key markets, including the USA, Europe, and Dubai. We are also in advanced discussion with carriers like Qatar Airways to establish our air service agreement. My government has worked tirelessly to rebuild trust with international financial institutions and donor community. In 2024, we secured $210 million financing package from the IMF Extended Credit Facility, ECF, to address macroeconomic imbalances and improve debt sustainability from 2024 to 2027. Our inclusion in the ECF has unlocked support from both multinational and bilateral partners. The World Bank provided $60 million in support, $40 million of which was budget support, and the balance $20 million went to special disaster fund for Liberia to be administered by Liberia. The World Bank has also pledged $40 million in budget support for this year in 2026. We secured a $16 million grant from the European Union for 2025 to 2027, while the African Development Bank provided $40 million for road projects. During the period under review, Liberia also received $398.2 million in up-budget official development assistance for critical sectors such as health, agriculture, and infrastructure. I am pleased to inform you that bilateral relations have secured a commitment from government of the United States for the Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC Compact eligibility. This is a significant achievement as it potentially exposes Liberia to substantial financial support in its development when completed in a couple of years. This milestone reflects confidence in the step we've taken as a nation, particularly in promoting transparency, making sound economic decisions, and strengthening governance. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the legislature, ladies and gentlemen, Liberia's development challenges are historical, yet our current national circumstances dictate urgent action. Upon coming to office, my government immediately began forming a new national development plan and counter development agenda CDA for the next 5 years. I am pleased to report that the plan and the 15 county agenda have been meticulously developed and validated by stakeholders across the country. They received strong endorsement from the Cabinet, the National Steering Committee, and our international partners, leading to a successful launch on January 15, 2025. This initiative, known as the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, AID, is built on foundations of the Pro-Poor Agenda for Prosperity and the Development and the Agenda for Transformation. The AID is a set to cap Vision 2023, Liberia's ambitious goal of becoming a more capable. 60% of the funding will come from the government and international donors, with the remaining from private sector investment. The success of the AID and the counter development agendas will also depend on the active participation of our youth. We are dedicated to making us go beyond policy to address the deeper social and political dynamics that affect us, the undercurrent issues that run deep in our country and society, including addressing historical social privileges that tend to divide us and create tension. We are one people with a common destiny as a nation, and therefore all privileges based on political, economic, social, and cultural lines and our stereotypes and adversarial to the values of an equitable society. This means divisions based on religion, social status, literacy and illiteracy, gender and policy must not be allowed to divide us and determine how we live as a people. In this regard, I call on our friends on the other side of the political divide, including the opposition parties, to join us in fostering a government of inclusion. Our democracy should not be defined by elections where the winner is perceived to have taken all. Instead, our path should not be on the next election, but the next generation. We must embrace genuine unity and reconciliation. Today, I'm pleased and proud to report that despite the challenges we inherited, we have made meaningful progress in key sectors. Liberia has immense potential for large-scale agriculture that will create jobs, feed our people, and strengthen our economy. However, this vital sector has not received the attention it deserves. Over the past year, we have taken significant steps to advance agriculture and enhance self-sufficiency. To help reduce our reliance on rice import, we cultivated over 4,000 hectares of rice. This year, we aim to double our efforts by cultivating an additional 6,000 hectares. We are constructing 5 mechanization centers in Bong, Lofa, Margibi, Montserrat, and Nimba County to enable farmers to access essential machinery for improved production. Progress in another way in mechanizing cassava cultivation aimed at both consumption and starch production. We have directed substantial support towards cocoa and oil palm production, resulting in 10,000 hectares of cocoa cultivation and investment in palm oil agro-business. We are also in the process of establishing a palm vegetable oil refining to meet man's commercial production. My administration has increased agriculture budget by over 200% compared to the previous year. Our National Agriculture Plan highlights the value chain with dedicated funding to enhance agribusiness and create jobs. To combat food insecurity and support vulnerable populations, we have funded a comprehensive food security and nutrition surveys to assess food security in our communities. To foster innovation and growth in the agriculture sector, we successfully hosted the National Agriculture Fair in Kakata, Margibi, which now will be reactivated as an annual event with the next one scheduled in Nimba County 2025. Mr. Vice President, Speaker, and members of the legislature, ladies and gentlemen, a top priority for my administration is the development of our road infrastructure, essential for convenient travel, sales of service, and boosting the commerce. The poor state of our roads has long contributed to rural neglect and stunted our development. it is unacceptable that out of 13,000 kilometers of proposed road network, only 1,000 kilometers are paved. Improving road connectivity is the cornerstone of our development agenda. In the past year, we delivered on our promise to recondition and maintain major road corridors within the first 100 days. We have continued to maintain 783 kilometers of major road nationwide, making key routes such as Buraville to Bopolu, Wanyama to Foya, Foya to Medicoma, Red Route, Caribbean Pass, resulting in reduced commodity prices. Since January 2024, we expanded the RIA road project from 8 to 20 kilometers of paved road. The Sanekuri to Lugatu Road project is now 85% complete, with 42 kilometers paved, while the Sakripe to Tapeta Road project has reached 50% completion. With financing from the World Bank Rural Economic Transformation Project, RETRAP, we completed the biodiversity study on the Tapeta to Zedru corridor, including Toll Town to Zedru. We have also secured financing and finance design for key corridors, including Zedru to Davistown, Putukan to Kerpo, and Barclayville to Southtown to Clinton. In addition, we are happy to announce that paving the to Medina to Rabosport Road will commence in March this year. To enhance safety and vibrancy in Monrovia, we have expanded public spaces by creating alleys, clearing drainages, ditches, and installing solar streetlights. In the first quarter of 2025, we anticipate progress in the Tubman Boulevard Overseas Bridge project. Looking ahead, plan new bridge works and civil construction on major corridors, ensuring further connectivity infrastructure development across Liberia. Our natural resources should be the source of inclusive development. We have taken decisive actions to combat illicit mining, address environmental degradation, and rebuild public confidence. Honorable Speaker, distinguished members of the 55th Legislature, I am pleased to report that we have received a mineral resource survey report from the government of the People's Republic of China. The report provides new insights in Liberia's mineral resource potential and represents the most comprehensive scientific investigation conducted in over 5 decades. We extend our gratitude to the People's Republic of China for funding this important project. The Ministry of Mines and Energy has already analyzed the data from the survey, and results indicate a significant shift away from the country's previous sole focus on iron ore, diamond, and gold. We have discovered lithium, neodymium, silver, nickel, zinc, uranium, chromium, lead, tin, cobalt, niobium, coltan, tantalum, manganese, copper, zirconium, and molybdenum, among others. I have instructed the Ministry of Justice to act lawfully and promptly to address claims concerning the Mount Blair iron ore deposit in Tula County. The Liberia Electricity Corporation has been returned to its statutory structure. The corporation successfully negotiated additional electricity import for Cote d'Ivoire and reduced electricity tariffs from Bong and Nimba County. Construction of the 30 megawatt solar power plant in Harrisburg, Montreal County began in 2024. The project is expected to be completed by October 2025. Our plan is to electrify 100,000 households every year using both the grid and the renewable energy sources. Our goal is to achieve a 75% access rate by 2030 and eliminate the existing urban-rural disparity. We believe that energy access is essential to unlocking potentials in agriculture, roads, education, healthcare, and tourism. We are encouraged by significant oil and gas discoveries in neighboring Cote d'Ivoire 2021, 2023, 2024, where substantial deposits were found in geological formations similar to those in Liberia in the Upper Basin. Seismic data from our basin have been licensed to major players like Total Energies, Petrobras, and the mid-tier companies such as Murphy. The interest from these global energy giants boosts our optimism for oil and gas exploration in Liberia. Also, Liberia is collaborating with a neighboring country to complete the Africa Atlantic gas pipeline. My government is committed to facilitating its passage through our territory, integrating Liberia's energy infrastructure with renewable sources to meet domestic export needs, and advancing clear energy solutions for our country. Mr. Vice President, Speaker, members of the legislature, in today's globalized world, advancement in telecommunication and digitization offer endless opportunities for social and economic benefit. Recognizing this, my government is committed to expanding access to affordable, quality digital infrastructure and telecommunication services to drive economic growth. During the past year, the government made significant progress in reforming Liberia's telecom sector. For the first time, we have implemented regulations that provide clarity and transparency for mobile network services, including mobile money and value-added innovation. We are also at the verge of enabling interconnectivity between mobile money providers, allowing citizens to transfer funds across the network. These measures promote fair competition and enhance consumer protection. Last year, we launched a digital transformation initiative focused on digital literacy programs to train young Liberians in various skills. I am pleased to announce that we have trained over 10,000 young people across 15 counties and empowered 50 teams with seed funding to start digital business. We also empowered 4-year degree scholarship to 15 participants each. Liberia's once celebrated for its educational system has seen standards decline, depriving men of a fundamental right. Education is not a privilege. In 2024, we inherited an educational sector faced with significant challenges. 2 million in scholarship arrears, poorly qualified teachers, and inadequate infrastructure. Many public schools are deteriorated, with several projects delayed or abandoned. To address these issues, we committed $1 million to clear scholarship arrears, including West Africa's Senior Examination (WATCH) with over 500,000 already paid. We have set 14 counties, validated teaching workforce that transitioning qualified volunteer teachers into our system. We launched $75 million fundamental learning project with USAID, focusing on reading and math for third graders, and equipped 156 public schools with digital learning platforms and solar power. New policies such as the National School Quality Standards and the Center for Excellence will ensure high educational standards. At the primary level, we are launching the One Child, One Chair initiative to address the shortage of chairs for school children nationwide. At the tertiary level, we have assessed the need for renovating the University of Liberia's facility and initiated transformational leadership efforts to build the university endowment, enhancing its national and global effectiveness as a center for academic excellence in the coming year. We have taken deliberate steps to combat hunger and food insecurity in schools by allocating $1 million United States dollars to the school feeding program for primary schools. Our government interventions and investment in the education sector in the coming year will enhance education delivery, giving our children the opportunity they deserve for a brighter future. Mr. Vice President, honorable members of the legislature, health and sanitation are central to my administration's priority, forming a key part of the arrest agenda. And of course, in our message, we committed to addressing both historical and emerging challenges in the health sector, assuring access to quality health care for all of our people. Despite significant hurdles, we have made notable progress. Today, we are pleased to report that public health centers in all 15 counties have received essential medicine, and community pharmacy initiative is being piloted nationwide. Maternal and child mortality rates have decreased, with child vaccination rates rising from 64.9% to 73% in 2024. We have also seen improvements in the tuberculosis treatment success rate. However, drug and substance abuse remains an epidemic. As a result of the danger and a wide-ranging impact on our society, we declared drug substance abuse as a health emergency and a threat to national security. To date, we have made steady progress in raising awareness and preventing drug abuse. To demonstrate our commitment, my Vice President and I led the example by undertaking drug tests. Several at-risk youth have completed rehabilitation, reintegrated into our society. Notably, we acquired 50 acres in Bensonville, Monserrate County, where pre-construction activities have begun for a new psychiatric hospital to build mental health and substance abuse. A regional diagnostic center is under development in Balatua County with 38.7 acres secured and pre-construction underway. This center will enhance diagnostic services, particularly in rural Liberia. We intend to establish 3 additional regional diagnosis centers across the country. We are advancing several health infrastructure projects, including 8 of the 15 staff housing in Zredru nearing completion. There are 23 ongoing infrastructure projects, such as construction and renovation of hospital health centers in Zredru, Boakai, and other parts of the country. In addition, 6 oxygen plants have been commissioned in Monsuado at GFK, Lofa, Nimba, Grand Kira, and Grand Cru. We are pleased to announce that with the support of the Chinese government, we have broken ground for the construction of a $16 million national clinical and diagnostic laboratory at number 14 hospital, military hospital in Margibi County. On sustainable health financing, we are making progress with the National Security Health Insurance Scheme and the bill to create a National Health Equity Fund for universal health coverage will soon be submitted for your consideration. As part of the groundbreaking health initiative, we are addressing the cardiovascular issues in Liberia. In collaboration with the University of Ghana Medical Center, UGMC, we are establishing the state-of-the-art cardiothoracic GFK. The partnership emphasizes cross-training medical professionals equipped in advanced facilities and performing life-saving surgeries. A notable success in the open heart surgery performed on 64-year Mr. Fokpa Cover at the UGMC, with all expenses covered by my administration. By the grace of God, Mr. Cover is here today to share the moment of triumph. Mr. Cover, please stand to be acknowledged. I don't know where Cover. Thank you. By mid-2025, our goal is to perform some of these critical surgeries locally at GFK, significantly improving access to cardiac care for all Liberians. Poor sanitation, inadequate clean water supply, and aging infrastructure, especially in Monrovia and other cities, have long posed challenges. 42% of our population still lacks basic toilet facilities. Addressing these public health concerns is a key priority in our development agenda, and significant progress has been made in the past year. We successfully repaired the 1 million gallon city reservoir in central Monrovia with support from the World Bank, restoring water supply for the first time in 10 years. Improvements include new chlorine dosing unit at the White Plains Water Treatment Plant, rehabilitation of a cardware booster to enhance supply in multiple areas, and expansion of water system in Bushop Island, Rock Hill, Soul Clinic, and New Georgia. We are replacing the 36-inch pipe on the main transmission line from White Plains to Monrovia with a 48-inch pipe. A new water system is under construction in Buffalo City, set for dedication in February. We plan to connect an additional 3,000 homes in Monrovia and Painesville this year. With USAID support, we are conducting the feasibility of rehabilitating the Kakatra-Buchanan water system. This year, we will construct water system for Plebo and Greenfield and rehabilitation Zredru system. Additionally, over 1,700 new and reconnected customers have benefited from ongoing civic improvement. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam President, and esteemed members of the legislature, associate justices of the Supreme Court, fellow Liberians. Our country is fortunate to have many qualified, capable women who have challenged traditional jobs. Gender sensitivity and inclusion is a high priority in my administration. Currently, women hold 39% of the ministerial positions, 31% of deputy minister positions. This trend continues to the superintendent level, where women make up 40% of all appointments. While we celebrate these achievements, we must also address the serious issue facing children and battered women in our country. In 2024, our government made significant strides in promoting women's empowerment and protecting children. We launched a national 116 EBV cell call centers, which provide confidential 24/7 platform for survivors of gender-based violence to report incidents and access vital services, including counseling and legal assistance. We also allocated $1.8 million in plan of International for Liberian Women Empowerment Project, which, with assistance from the World Bank, aims to enhance women economic empowerment through small businesses support and address harmful social norms over 700 communities. This project benefits 36,000 women across the country. Regarding social protection, nearly 4,000 impoverished households in Grand Bassa, Grand Cru counties receive cash transfer from the Recovery of Economic Activity for Liberia Informal Social Employment Realize project. The government disbursed total of $112,812,770 million Liberian dollars and $770 to vulnerable houses. We thank the World Bank for providing the loans for this scheme, as well as the French and other friendly governments. For children's welfare, we launched the Support a Child, Save the Future project, discovering that over 366 children were living on the streets. With the help of the various partners, we identified more than 5,000 children in Montserrat County for assistance, connecting over 4,000 to financial support for schooling. Additionally, more than 600 children are enrolled in family strengthening programs. 702 have been placed in 19 public schools, receiving livelihood support for their caregivers. Honorable members of the legislature, a year ago, as we began our stewardship, we declared that business as usual approach to governance will be a thing of the past. We remain committed to promoting openness, transparency, and accountability across our government. In line with this commitment, we have supported the independence of integrity institutions. The General Auditing Commission, GSC, has published results for 60 out of 80 audits, including those conducted before my administration. Key institutions audited include the Executive Protection Unit, the Central Bank, the Government Consolidated Fund, and the Liberia Telecommunication Authority. Some audits conducted before my tenure revealed serious system weaknesses and millions in unaccounted public funds. My government will continue working closely with the GAC, the National Legislature, and Ministry of Justice to prevent theft, waste, and abuse. Unprecedented orders of the Office of the President, the Judiciary, the Office of the Chief Justice, and the Senate demonstrate our collective determination to promote accountability. Similarly, independent auditing agents have embedded internal auditors in 91 out of 131 spending entities to ensure accountability for public funds. We have appointed the Ombudsman after years of delay and introduced performance management and compliance system. Cabinet members and agencies has now signed codes of conduct, performance contract with the President, and I have declared and published our asset as well as signed the code of conduct. The Vice President, Madam Senate Pro Tem, Mr. Speaker, distinguished guests, let us address the present concern that affect every facet of our society: integrity in governance. Last year, I spoke candidly about how systemic corruption undermines trust, hinders progress, and tarnishes our reputation. A new beginning is needed, a Liberia where transparency and accountability are cornerstones of our government. While corruption remains a formidable adversary, we must recognize the progress that we have made. Our determination has led to more transparent systems, established accountability measures, and fostered ethical practices. Citizens are increasingly aware and willing to speak out against corruption while leaders are committed to integrity. Our integrity institutions have unfettered access to the presidency, reflecting strong political will. Payroll audits across several ministries have removed thousands of ghost names, saving millions. Our actions will not stop at the past. We will institute audits of all expenditures over the past year and address any violation of public trust. Liberians yearn for decisive action against these national menace, and I vow to deliver. We call on national legislature and the judiciary to join us as allies in this patriotic journey. Acting on audit reports and fast-tracking corruption cases, we restore. On communication front, the Liberia broadcasting system is making significant progress in the construction of the new television and radio expansion complex, which is ahead of schedule. This $5.5 million project, funded by the People's Republic of China through the China Aid, includes complete refurbishing of the existing infrastructure and introduction of modern advanced equipment. Once completed, LBS radio and television network will experience substantial improvement in the ability to inform, educate, and entertain the public. My government is dedicated to promoting freedom of the press, fostering an environment where the media can thrive. To support this commitment, operational licenses were issued to 45 new print and electronic media institutions during the period under review. In an age where information is more accessible than ever, social media shapes our agenda. The importance of a responsible press cannot be overstated. As citizens, we must encourage ethical journalism that prioritizes truth and accuracy over sensitization as a role of responsible press in preserving our democracy is indispensable. As we face the daunting challenges of climate change and global warming, Liberia remains steadfast in advancing environmental sustainability. In 2024, we developed regulations to conserve air, water, and soil with international climate financing. We are constructing coastal defense to protect vulnerable areas such as West Point, Greenville City from sea erosion. We have enhanced climate reporting by establishing a meteorological center in the Climate Smart Lab at the University of Liberia. Our commitment extends to enforcing environmental laws and signing international agreements to mitigate climate impact. Liberia's nationally determined contributions, NDC, are ambitious, aiming for 64% reduction in emission by 2030. We are expanding our NDCs to encompass freshwater ecosystem, land rights, and youth involvement, reinforcing Liberia's leadership in global climate fight. Positioned to benefit from the carbon market, with over 42% of the Upper Guinea rainforest under our stewardship, we are developing a legal framework to facilitate participation in these markets. The National Climate Change Steering Committee is leading the efforts with support from key international partners. Honorable members of the legislature, as we address people today, we focus on critical issues of land governance. Young our citizens, land is one of our most vital resources, a gift from God and our forefathers that offers opportunities for livelihood and economic development through investment. However, Liberia faces escalating land conflict. Our court systems are overwhelmed with land cases, and headlines highlight disputes between investors and communities alongside powerful individuals grabbing land from the vulnerable. Land conflicts in Liberia are rooted in historical grievances, poor governance, and increasing pressure on land use. I assure you that we are taking bold steps toward change, ensuring our people receive historical justice and, more importantly, providing them with opportunity to make productive use of their resources. In 2024, we issued these to 24 land-owning communities, securing almost 1 million acres land and benefiting more than 200,000 Liberians. We also imposed moratorium on public land sales to curb speculative grabs, which will be lifted only after guidelines are established. These efforts are aimed to enhance tenure security, resolve conflict, and promote sustainable land investment throughout Liberia. We will continue to prioritize crucial efforts. Mr. Vice President, Speaker, members of the House of Representatives, Madam Pro Tempore, members of the Senate, Associate Justices, and members of the Judiciary, Madam Dean, members of the Cabinet, my government has given Liberia's standing in the world a top priority following reputational setbacks in the last few years. In past year, Liberia's foreign policy and external relations have seen many shifts that have lifted country's image internationally. These steps have begun to restore the country's reputation repositioning us as a respected actor, both regional and global. During the year, we stepped up effort to establish new bilateral relations while engaging with others to deepen existing relations. Key initiatives have raised Liberia's profile and reinforced our commitment to stability, peace, and economic development. I am pleased to announce that we established diplomatic relations with 6 new countries: Barbados, Bahrain, Uzbekistan, Croatia, El Salvador, and Bolivia. We also signed 9 new bilateral cooperation agreements with our eastern neighbor, Cote d'Ivoire, signed 15 new agreements with Morocco in the area of trade, agriculture, education, cultural exchange, mining, natural resource governance, among others. Our engagement with the European Union has resulted in 108 million euros, about 110,000 million United States dollars budget envelope, reflecting the international community's confidence in Liberia's future. Focusing on our home region, Liberia took a leadership role in revitalizing the Mano River Union by convening a meeting of ministers of foreign affairs, finance, and defense in Monrovia. Subsequently, Liberia negotiated a roadmap with Morocco on behalf of the sub-regional head, leading to an agreement that included funding for the construction of a new Mano River Union Secretariat office. Within ECOWAS, Liberia has supported efforts to preserve the unity of the community by behind scenes engaging with the Alliance of the Sahel States, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. These efforts continue. Since 1961, when Liberia served a hard term on the UN Security Council, in 1970, when Liberia's Angie Brooks Randolph served a 1-year term as President of the UN General Assembly, Liberia had not held any comparable global governance leadership role. We have to change this. We launched at the General Assembly in September 2024 of Liberia's bid for a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council 2026-2027 term. I am proud to report that Liberia has secured key endorsement for its candidacy, receiving support from both the African Union and ECOWAS. Liberia stood with Ukraine in protecting its sovereignty and has supported ceasefire in Gaza, as well as return of the UN Agency for Palestine to serve humanitarian needs of the people in Gaza. Additionally, we believe our global standing has been enhanced through the reform of our passport system. In the bid to ensure integrity and international acceptance of our passport, we have cancelled and recalled all privileged passports issued for the past 6 years, a measure that is now being adopted by neighboring countries. This measure ensures that Liberia's passport system is secured, reliable, and trusted worldwide. Furthermore, we have improved the efficiency of our passport services for timely and accessible processing for all citizens. These actions, along the new interim security and screening protocols, have improved the application and the processing system. This has resulted in a 60% decrease in passport processing time, safeguarding the integrity of the passport as a reliable global identity for our citizens. In view of this, I call on all our Liberians to join us in making 2025 a year to regain Liberia's global prominence. Mr. Vice President, Speaker, members of the legislature, my government believes that Liberia's diaspora community is potentially one of the country's important development assets. The diaspora is an extension of our citizenry, having left homeland in large numbers in the aftermath of the bloody 1980 military coup d'etat and devastating civil war that ensued. When we addressed this body in January last year, we made clear that Liberians in the diaspora have a stake in the future of their country, and my administration will ensure that their contribution to Liberia are institutionalized and fully honored. It is in this recognition of that we instituted policies that have engaged members of the diaspora community in the past year across all facets of our national life and development. A new program titled Annual Year of Return was designed to organize the yearly visits of Liberians to their motherland in ways that make their stay not only welcoming, but also the means to explore opportunities to bond them with their compatriots and invest in the development of our country. As my government proposed last year, a highlight of this engagement will be the holding of the first Liberia Diaspora Conference, National Development in April 2025 in Washington, D.C. This conference will provide a platform to discuss, re-engage, and participate in their country's development. Once again, I would like to recommend the legislature and previous administration to commend them for their work to eliminate the unjust barriers imposed on citizens who have chosen to seek opportunities abroad. I am pleased that the slogan, "Once a Liberian, always a Liberian," now holds genuine significance. During the past year in review, the nation mourned the loss of some of its prominent citizens. Among the many who transitioned include former Vice President N.D. Warner, former Interim Vice President Senator John Gray, former Nimba County Senator Prince Johnson, former Montserrat County Senator Joyce Musus Freeman Sumo, former Lofa County Senator Sumo G. Kube, former Grand Crew County Senator and former President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate, Petrus Segbe Watterson, and esteemed elder Alhaji Amadou Sharif, among many others. The full list will be published. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, and members of the House of Representatives, Madam Pro Tem, members of the Senate, Associate Justices, members of the Judiciary. Before I conclude this address, let me invoke another moment of truth in the supreme interest of our country. Beyond my assessment of the challenges we face, certain intangibles impel my actions as follows. 1, I will propose an action to plan to address the state of our nation's unity. 2, I will propose a review of our Constitution to address shortcomings in the organic law. Number 3, we will propose comprehensive electoral reforms to strengthen our electoral process and democratic credentials. 4, I will institute plans for the proper burial of the former President William R. Turnbull and Samuel K. Doe. 5, We will propose a plan to recognize ECOWAS for their vital contribution to maintaining peace and stability during our crucial times in Liberia's history. Six, we will convene the National Conference on Post-War Infrastructure to discuss the rebuilding and the development of our post-war infrastructure. We started this journey together with the faith that we can face and address our difficulties, course, correct, and set apart for transformed future. Let us with compassion continue to stand united as we move forward hand in hand towards the prosperous, inclusive future of our nation. After 1 year of office, we can confidently say that the state of our nation is better than when we began. Our progress in 12 productive months is just the beginning, and prospects are encouraging. As we begin to implement and achieve the arrest agenda for inclusive development goals this year, in the coming years, we move decidedly and resolutely forward, thinking Liberia, loving Liberia, and building Liberia together. May God bless us all and serve our republic. Thank you.
After drinking, just shake your hand.
What?
After drinking, we just shake your hand.